Welcome to Studio M31. My name is Yves, and tonight in the studio I have Mario Lozano. How you doing, Mario?
Good, man. How you doing, Yves?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great.
Good.
Mario, first question for you. Where are you from?
Originally from Texas. Made my way up to Chicago. Actually grew up in Chicago and then moved down here and love it here, so I'm staying here. You know.
All right. And when did you move down here?
Oh, man. It's quite a few years ago. I don't know. Back in the 90s.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Mario's a bass player. So Mario, we're going to talk about bass a little bit, but first I want to ask you how you got into music. What was the original spark for you?
Oh, man. I don't know. It was when I was 9 years old. Just heard a song on the radio and I heard that low tone and man, I was hooked. I said,
yeah, right away.
I got to do that, you know. And of course, 9 years old, you don't know anything about that, but I started doing some research on it and finally got me a guitar. Took off the two first strings and pretended it was a bass, you know. Turned
the tone
all the way down, and then that's where I started and just started.
So the bass was right away. That was the thing for you.
Just like that, yeah.
Most people, it's the guitar. It's interesting.
I don't know. Eventually, you know, I started liking the guitar sound.
Right.
And all the other instruments, but still today, that's my forte.
Mario, you want to tell me a little bit about your musically, your progress? I know that you had a few bands. You want to talk to us about this?
Yeah, in the beginning, I mean, to make a long story short, started making a band, playing the cover tunes, you know, doing that thing, and then you progress into learning more about your instrument or the music industry itself. Mm-hmm. And eventually I went to school for it, and that opened up a lot of doors musically for me. And had a Santana tribute band before I moved down here. That was very successful. But when I started writing my own music right about that time, that kind of just took me off into a different direction. And I've been going there ever since. A couple of original bands that I was with, your band back in the day. Right. And since then, I've been with a couple of different bands, but for whatever reason, didn't pan out. And continuing to write my own pieces now on the bass and all the other instruments, and composing and producing, and on a website, bandmix.com, under the name Mad Bass.
Okay.
Not that I'm mad or anything, but I didn't know what else to think of. So I've got some samples and stuff in there, and a little history of everything. And just looking to get into a band, do some original stuff, and you know.
The one thing I want to ask you about, like, since you lived in Chicago and you played there, do you ever thought about Florida versus a place like Chicago? Do you see Florida as being as interesting to you, or?
Oh man,
for music.
To be perfectly honest, it should be. It doesn't seem to be for whatever reason, and I'm hoping that changes. You know, I think this is a great place to be for musicians to be discovered. And I mean, you've got the weather here. You've got a racial mix from all over the world, actually.
Right.
I mean, sure. Chicago's a great place to be. In New York, California, Texas, probably. But I hope I wouldn't have to go there. You know, and just stay here and make this music industry grow, and maybe, you know, something like this, along with other, you know, great musicians in Florida, because there's a lot of them. Maybe something will pan out later. I don't know. You know.
You're here and you're gonna play. You brought us a bass.
Yeah. I got one of my basses here.
Well, actually, before we see you doing a piece on it, I'd like you to show us the bass.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So
okay.
we're gonna show you one of those. Can you tell me who makes it?
It's a luthier out of New York, Fodera.
Okay.
It's a well-known company out of there. They make basses and other instruments for, you know, well-known artists across the world. Right. Expensive, again, and it takes a long time before they can build it. You know, I think
because they pretty much do everything tailored to what you ask them.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And it's high quality craftsmanship. You know, it took me, I think for this particular bass, I believe it took about a year before I was able to get it back.
Wow. from the time you started the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sure.
Took me a lot longer to pay for it, but
well, I'm sure
that's okay.
That's a different story.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna see that bass. We're gonna start with that.
Cool. All right. Yeah. All right. So Yves wanted me to let everybody know about one of my custom built basses that I have, and this is a Fodera, Victor Wooten Monarch Standard Series. I had a couple different things done when I had it built. And it's got the gold hardware and the gold strings. I think the strings are Maxiums, I believe. Don't exactly remember, but they're nickel round wound, very bright tone. I like them a lot. Everybody's got their preference, but I like them. Of course, the EMG pickups, the tone controls on them. I've got the a passive toggle, and I also got a mute that comes in very handy. I've got the gotcha tuning, the actual wood on it. I believe there's 2 or 3 different woods along with a preamp that's built in. I've got the mahogany body style and the Indian rosewood fretboard, which gives it its own distinctive sound and different tone. Very nice. Very nice bass. Thought I'd put it down on a natural angle, just like I was playing it. It's get a better view of it. Scott, if anybody notices or not, the headstock on this particular bass is a little bit bigger, a little bit wider than most basses. And I don't know, I think it's, again, preference. And it's just something that I like. It just gives it that look, that bass look, And it's very nice, and I hope you get a nice shot of it for the whole thing, from top to bottom.
All right, Mario. Well, thank you so much for showing us that bass. That's a nice piece. And
You're welcome.
Yeah, very nice. And since you have it with you, of course, you're gonna play something.
Yeah.
Do you have something in mind? You have a...
It's a little original piece that I had wrote. Of course, this is just the introductory of the song, or the first part of the song. The solo piece is quite long, but I'm just going to play a couple of minutes of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Very, very cool. Do you have a name for it?
Bass in Space.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of nice. Bass in Space. I like that.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Well, for now, it's going to be just in Studio M31. But all right. So Mario Lozano on bass with Bass in Space.
Bass in Space.
Cool.
Órale.
Well, that was great, Mario. That was a really nice piece.
Thank
nice
you.
piece.
Thanks.
Bass in Space.
Bass
Bass
in
in Space
Space,
by
yeah.
Mario Lozano. Very cool. Very cool.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that piece is it's probably 12 years old or something.
Yeah, no, you told
Yeah.
me you haven't really had a chance to play that in a long
No,
time.
no. I thought it would be a nice little piece to just to throw in there, and I did practice a little bit before I got here, but it's been a while
Still.
since I played that thing. Yeah.
Anyway, one more thing I wanted to ask you before we close. Do you have a website, a place that I know you mentioned the Mad Bass. Do you want to tell us again, like the best place to find you?
It's called bandmix.com.
Bandmix.com. Okay.
My I guess my screen name is Mad Bass. I guess if you logged on to there and just did a search or an advanced search and typed in Mad Bass, it would take you right to my profile.
Okay.
And in there it has all the samples and the history of me and some pictures and
Very cool.
equipment and contact information.
Okay,
And
good.
from that point you could contact me. And
Well, Mario, I just want to thank you for being here.
You're
Really
welcome.
a pleasure talking to you and
Enjoyed
listening to you play. And we'll catch you next time.
all right, man.
Good luck with everything, man.
Thanks a lot.
Mario Lozano on Studio M31. Thank you. You all have a good night.